It's Ali.
And
Engine and we're podcast.
Okay, sure. Okay, hi guys. So today we're here with Maryam. She's an alumni from SOTA and she's also very active in community theatre. So Maryam, how do you just give us a bit of a background on what you're doing and how you came from SOTA and into this scene?
Right. I just want to let you know I'm not necessarily active yet because I'm still in uni. But basically, I'm Maryam. I graduated in 2018, and now I'm studying at East 15 Acting School in Essex, in UK, and I'm studying an acting and community theatre course. Yeah, is that okay for an intro?
Yeah, it's really good. Wow. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. Okay.
Yeah. So why did you choose this particular path as your, for your career?
Right. So actually, a few years ago, in 2018, Sarah, she was from SOTA, and then she came back to give like a career talk for the IBCP class, and she told us about her school and how she was in East 15. So back when she gave that talk, I think she just ended first year here. And then she told us about this amazing course and what they do, and I was just blown away because at that point I was deciding what uni to go to. I think at one point I wanted to study design in Hong Kong, but so you know what I mean? Like I was just very like a bit all over in terms of what I wanted to focus on. And then she comes and then she talks about theatre in a community setting, and I just felt something click inside of me, because I knew I wanted to be involved in theatre, but I didn't want to do straight acting, if that makes sense. So I just wanted my skills to go somewhere. Like I wasn't very like satisfied with just like being on stage. Like that's great, but I just felt like there was no point in, for me at least, to just do that, because that's not necessarily just my strength, just wanted to do something about being on stage or having the skill of performing. So that made sense to me.
So you're already kind of open to the idea of using your skill in theatre to pursue something, in a sense.
Yes, that is correct, Sinjin. I would agree. Yeah.
CP, right? So it's like, did you feel like already then at year 4 you felt like this was going to be a path for you, just focusing on arts?
Yeah, definitely. I think at the turning point when I was deciding whether to do IBCP or DP, again, this alumni, Fiona, she gave a talk about the IBCP course, and she said, when in life, like some doors will, let me just think about this. Oh my gosh, my brain. She said, sometimes the right doors will open for you, and it's whether you want to take it or not. So I saw that as like, I saw myself in that position, in that I thought the CP course was right for me, actually. And also, I think I quit like barely a few years before joining SOTA, and I like to this day I still regret it. So I didn't want to make that same decision in cutting like another art form in my life, and I decided if I wanted to do theatre, I should do it full on instead of doing DP and then like theatre on the side as well. Like it's still very possible to pursue theatre, of course, but then I was like, if I want to do this, I should like go all in, and so I took CP. At least that was my mentality when I was 16. So yeah.
I mean, I feel like the decision point has worked out very well for you. But because you mentioned a lot of, you mentioned that the alumni often came back and sort of like influenced your decision.
Yeah.
But how would you say that the SOTA community or SOTA in general has affected or influenced your career path?
I mean, when we do like OSL, CAS, or like GPS, it's literally using your art and applying it to a larger community. So in that sense, I feel this skill has been ingrained in every SOTA student, like this sense of like, I want to use my art form to do something else or to serve something. So I think that just came naturally because of SOTA and the environment. So I'm very grateful for that. Yeah, if that answers your question. So I'd say mostly like GPS, CAS, and OSL, but I think also the people that SOTA has, it's very productive in that it's not just incubated, you know. It's like, okay, I have this, how do I get it out now? How do I redirect it, you know? And I really like that. Yeah.
Oh,
I
it's really
think that's,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think that's a really interesting answer because I like how you link that to all your experiences as well. And it's not just arts related or academics related. It's more like the bonds you kind of created and the raw experiences that you felt, like going through OSL and LSL and such. I essentially wanted to say something.
Yeah, no, I was about to say the same thing. I thought it's very special because I think with that question, it was more aimed towards, you being in theatre and, how will it aid you in something you're doing in theatre. But it's a really valid point with how in SOTA you have such special, CAS, OSL and everything. And it all blends together to make you want to do things, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's a very good answer. In this whole journey, with making such hard decisions as well, who helped you the most and who guided you along in your life?
So hard decision in terms of like pursuing what I'm pursuing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Or
I would
who
say-
supported you? Yeah.
I mean, it can be like not just like necessarily the decision making point, but also just like what kept you going throughout, or who kept you going throughout doing this career. Yeah.
In this very, very young career, barely even a career, like it's still ongoing. So I'd say my mom has been quite a strong support system. She was all for me taking CP in the first place. Like she was, when I told her about my offer, I expected like a bit more of a conflict and a dilemma, like, oh no, should I do DP or CP? Because it's such a huge thing, right?
Yeah.
But then she's just like, yeah, go for it, man. And I'm like, okay. Thank you. But I always have like conversations with my mom about like theatre shows I watch or like literature that we like read about, and in that sense she's been my link and my like support for like arts. So she's in a more indirect sense, she has been there for me throughout. But also what has kept me going right now is, well, besides my family, it's also like indirectly again, it's the SOTA community. It's like the teachers, my friends from SOTA. Like I see what you guys are up to on Instagram, like the juniors. How like lead has been different and the different kinds of casts you guys are coming up with, and then also seeing like my juniors, like the year below me, or like even my friends right now, like Haris, for example, what he's doing. It's just seeing what people are up to that has gotten me like, I mean, I keep going in general because I kind of want to do this, but it's also the influence of like what everyone else has been doing and how the SOTA community actually is still bleeding into me even though I've left. So yeah.
So still following you until uni, basically.
Yeah.
The SOTA community, and it inspires you to keep going and growing as well.
Yeah. There we go.
All right. I know that you're in Sussex now, right? Sussex, you said.
Essex, actually.
Oh, Essex, yeah.
Yeah.
But although you're all the way there, like, what do you think, or maybe based on your experiences overseas, what do you think that the local theatre scene or the local art scene in general might need, or what kind of changes do you think it needs to go through?
Honestly, right, guys, I think we need an experimental children's theatre group. I think we have some, I think it's up and coming, but I think we need one that's like that something that's more like daring and bold in terms of like
Wait, say again.
visuals. Sorry.
What was your first answer again? Experimental theatre group.
Experimental children's theatre group. So like like a collective that puts like experimental children's theatre. And when I mean experimental, I don't mean in terms of like narrative. I think themes and like grief has been touched on, for example. I think that like Singapore has been okay with it, but in terms of like style and the different kinds of approaches to how children can experience theatre and like the role of theatre in children's lives, let's do it, guys. Come on. We gotta.
She's pumped. She's pumped.
That's
Um,
very interesting because you're like your focus is more on cultivating something from a very very young age. I think it's really I think it's also very unique as well.
yeah, it's quite like niche, I think I would say.
Do they
Like,
have that in the UK?
yes, so I've watched like fringe like shows online. I mean, because of like COVID, and I've managed to catch some, fringe shows online and also like in person before the virus hit, and just having that taster of like what's in the local scene here has really opened my eyes to what else like I would like to, bring back. Bring back. I would like to like use in my practice.
Yeah.
And yeah, and also we had a puppetry course I think last week, yes, and then it culminated in a show, in a puppetry show, and just having that tutor come in. He's an external like director, and he's from like a company, and he came in to teach us, and just hearing his views and his approaches to like theater making for younger audience it has shown me a different kind of like way of approaching children's theater. So I'm quite inspired, to be honest. It's nice to be inspired. Yeah.
What's one characteristic you said you wanted to take? What would you like to? Oh, sorry, thunder. Something you like to take away from the UK theater scene, and what you were saying you want to see in the Singapore scene as well.
Hmm. So
What's
one character.
yeah
Um, isn't like a specific characteristic like
yeah
uh,
one
mm,
style you were saying yeah.
I think just the use of like, well, okay, the use of like the mixture between like physical theater, maybe I would like, because I'm very interested in movement and like physical theater. So like the use of physical theater, incorporating that into like a children's theater show. Well, specifically in puppetry as well. Like if I think it would be so cool if puppetry and the body was more like intertwined. I think that would be sick. But then again, like I think the scene in Singapore is growing, and I I feel a bit, to be honest, I feel a bit distant from it now, just because I can't really like see what's going on physically. I mean, I keep up online and stuff, but it's not necessarily the same. So like, correct me if I'm wrong, please, whoever's listening. But yeah, that's just my perception at the moment. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, the
Oh,
scene is definitely growing. I think like the experiences of going overseas, although like I know it's something going to be very glamorized, but I think there's definitely goes to a different mindset, a different culture, and bringing it back here can also like really help further the scene. I mean, that not only just the art scene so in Singapore, but also just like other things in general. So I think that's very beneficial. So Jim, you were going to say something?
oh yeah. What words of advice would you give any aspiring artists that want to be just like you?
Yeah. So our final question is essentially like, any advice would you want to give for your juniors or any other SOTA? SOTA juniors essentially.
Yeah.
Who want to reach out to them.
Okay. I'd say check your intention, because okay, I might be digressing here, but like for me, one of my main anchors in life is like my religion, which is Islam. And one of the key teaching points in Islam is that is to serve, and that you get a lot of purpose from serving actually. So in that sense, community theatre, my intention for studying this is to see how I can use these skills to serve others. Um, one of my dreams is actually to open up an Islamic kindergarten with an arts curriculum. But hey, we'll see how it goes. I'll let you guys know how it goes. But yeah,
All
anyway,
the
so
best
yeah,
with that.
thanks. But yeah, just keep checking your intention. Like, what do you actually want from this? How, where do you want this to go? If anywhere, like, because I think it's so easy to get lost in, especially in theater, I think, or the arts. It's very easy to get lost in yourself, and also what other people think of you. So you have to have something strong inside that you can turn to when things get a bit tumultuous. You can be like, oh wait, but this is why I'm doing it. So if you do decide to pursue an arts career, or even like any other career, just check your intention, and also all the best. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting that you're doing community theatre because it's like you said, you just can't do straight acting, and you want to do something which is more fulfilling and I guess more service related. So you can bind the two. I think it's super cool.
Yeah.
It's really
I'm
honorable.
glad you came to give the talk, to be honest. Like, it's, I was so lost. Yeah. So it's okay, guys, take your time.
So Maryam, tell us about how your second year has been at East 15.
So first year was a lot of like acting skills that we covered. Second year we were doing puppetry and then forum theatre and then playback theatre and then circus, which is sick because we are learning like how to juggle, how to like do hula hoop tricks, how to do like acrobatics, and like so you like I wouldn't necessarily link circus with community theatre. I was like, why are we doing this? But then like it's the idea behind that in that, you know, how can you enhance a performance, and then just being like having all these tools underneath your belt. I find it so fascinating. Yeah, so it's second year has been a ride. Yeah, it's been a ride. Yeah, we had an assessment on Monday where we had to come up with a 3-minute performance with any skill we've learned. So I combined poi and acrobatics. So poi is like this like nice ribbon thing that you like you move around. So then my narrative, like my music was like a classical piano that transitioned to like a gamelan remix, and like that was quite big for me to that was quite big for me to bring it to a UK space because I was I was a bit afraid of how that would be received. But then a lot of my acrobatic movements involved like silat movements as well, so like trying to bring out something from my culture. So yeah, so in that sense I've learned how to use what I already have in, and that's when I was like, oh, okay, I understand now why we're doing this. Yeah, circus. Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, but anyway, thank you so much for coming on. Actually,
Thank you very much.
Thanks for asking. It's always nice to see you guys.
I don't know. I was telling Ali before this. I was super like I don't know. I was worried stiff before, but you know it was really great. I loved everything you had to say. Thank you for coming.
Why were you worried?
No. I think just in general, just this thing being projected onto like an email to send to everyone. So I was just a little bit worried, but but it's really fun.
I say include the thunder sounds. Yeah, I say put it in your intro.
Actually, yeah. We should.
All right. I hope you guys have a good Thursday afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
I wish you all the luck with your career and your future and everything.
Thank you. All the best with IB, guys.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.
Bye.